Coming up on this week's show, Z gets behind the wheel of the year's most talked about SUV, the Jetour T2.
What I do like is those sort of design trinkets that they have on this car, because you have what? Cup holders.
Suzuki combines cutting-edge technology and class-leading safety features in the brand new Across.
My favorite design feature is the new ADAS or DSBS2, which is the dual sensor brake support with autonomous driving features. It's the first Suzuki to introduce this to the model range.
And we find out what's in store from Renault South Africa.
We've got product launches lined up until 2028. So effectively every year we'll be launching a minimum of one vehicle.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Ignition GT. South Africa's appetite for SUVs shows no sign of abating, and this week's lineup is testament to that. Joining us in studio to give us their take on the latest models and development on the automotive scene are two familiar faces to the show. Welcome to the show, and let's start with you, Kumbi. I know you've got some racing exploits. I'm just going to dive into that. I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I.
I know you're doing round 2 of the Extreme Festival in
Red Star.
Paddleshift.
Yes.
At Red Star Raceway.
100%. I'm very scared. I've never personally raced at Red Star. I mean, we've done a few launches at Red Star, but now, getting in 30 cars and heart-to-heart racing, that's quite terrifying. But I mean, the auto GR Corolla is amazing. We spoke off air just about, manual was quite hectic that season that I did it. So in the auto right now, I'm quite excited. I mean, everybody is going for it. Eh? Everyone is trying to beat Nabil.
Yeah, no. Lee, don't even get me started on Nabil. He's last year's champion and he's looking very good this year, looking very racy. Cheryl, what's been happening your side? Any new cars parked? And when are you joining Kumbi on the start line?
Okay, well, so I went for my first training session with BMW X-Drive.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the content. That looked fun.
It was really interesting. And what's even more interesting is how, as an older driver and you've been on the road for so long, you forget your basics. You forget the fundamentals. And it is so important. Yeah. It is so important to do your 3 mirror check,
mirror blind spot indicator, remember that?
Exactly, yes. And all those basics that we forget because we are behind the wheel all the time.
And you did a braking test, I understand. You did collision avoidance stuff. I think that should be compulsory, to be honest.
I honestly believe that new drivers need to go do a defensive driving course. 100%. And I believe that night driving is essential. Yeah. They need to go for the kind of training that can maybe reduce the number of accidents on the road.
Yeah, and we need it sorely in South Africa specifically. Yeah. So we now turn our attention away from road safety and performance to something that's a bit more off-road. The Jetour T2 made its official debut in the 4th quarter of 2025, and it has been the talk of the town for its ruggedness, that boxy SUV look, but we only managed to get it on test a few weeks ago. The wait, however, was well worth it, as you'll see shortly.
This is one of the most popular cars to come out of China right now. It is the Jetour T2, and it has caused a lot of craze on the roads. But is it just noise, or is there substance to this car? Well, let's find out. The boxy shape and design really got people talking. It's that utilitarian, rugged look that people really love. You have a big Jetour sign on the grille, and that actually lights up, which is quite cool. Square headlights in front, LED of course, and over to the side you have 19-inch all-terrain wheels. These are quite big actually. Then you have these accessories on the bonnet of the car that really accentuate the off-road readiness of the car. This is a 4-wheel drive, so yes, we can go off-road. And while I'm here, I do want us to talk about this beautiful color. It's like this nice green metallic. This looks very safari. I think I'm, kind of matching even. Moving along, you have your two-tone side mirror with the camera on the bottom, your side step as well as your roof rails, tinted windows on this one as well as flared up wheel arches. That just makes the car look more masculine. Coming on over to the rear of the car, you have your mounted spare wheel. You also do get these big LED rear lights. They make up the character of the car from the back. What I do like is those sort of design trinkets that they have on this car, because you have what? Cup holders. 2 of them. I'm an outdoorsy girl, so this really comes in handy and excites me a bit, because if I'm doing a little picnic and I'm sitting there with my friends and I'm chilling in my cool car and I've got cup holders in the back, what? That is really nice. The interior is much like the T1 in all aspects. So you still get that 15.7-inch screen, digital display, looks really nice. I think it also moves quite quickly. What I did love about this car was the sound. So you do have a Sony sound system in here, and you have, I think, about 8 speakers or so throughout the cabin. So the sound is actually really nice and good quality. The quality of materials used in this car do look very premium. We have a leather-wrapped dash area with red stitching. You have chrome around the air vents over there. And you also have a hold your horses if somebody's going to be off-roading. But that's going to be for the passenger, because obviously I will be in control. Hold your horses. In the center of the car, you also have these handles over here. I think they're also just the hold your horses kind of thing. But a wireless charging pad in the center over there. A big butch gear, as well as your rotary dials for your different driving modes. These seats are also quite beautiful and comfortable as well. They do adjust, obviously, passenger and drivers, but they get like additional sort of head support. Alright, so in the back there's actually a lot of space in here. You also get some nice materials on the side doors as well, but also just those handles looking very robust and big. Handles literally everywhere, because it does show you that this is an off-roading car, so it is ready on all aspects. I think it is time to take our drive. So this car, if you think, is very popular in South Africa, and yes it is, because I'm sure you also have seen a lot of these on the roads as well, but in the UAE it is the 3rd best-selling car. It has a good responsive steering wheel, feedback is quite instant as well. There is substantial power in this car. It is powered by a 2-liter turbo petrol engine with a 7-speed dual transmission that will give you 180 kilowatts and 375 newton meters of torque. I do think that the engine size they put in here is quite sufficient. Woohoo! I've actually just gone into a couple of potholes, but also just shows you how refined this car is, because it didn't feel like it was devastating to the car at all. It handles superbly like this 4-wheel drive should. Another thing, it's really got a good driving and seating position as well. I'm really perched up high. I can see the end of the bonnet, which is always a good thing. The only thing that I found disappointing about this car was fuel efficiency, because I'm now averaging 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers. I think they claim about 8 liters per 100, and that, yeah, was a bit of a letdown for me. I do think going forward with the upgrades and just the newer models, they might work on that, and it can just give a better value for money. And talk about value for money, this car does come at a very competitive price. The 1.5-litre T2 will cost you 569,900 Rand, and that's for the Aspire model. The Explorer, which is a 2-litre, will cost you 639,900 Rand, while finally the Odyssey, also a 2-litre, will cost you 679,900 Rand. The prices include a 7-year, 200,000 kilometre warranty, as well as a 10-year or 1 million kilometre engine warranty. It's pretty clear that this car has gained quite a big fan base and has garnered a lot of popularity, and I do think it is warranted. It looks really, really good. The design is something that people really want, but because this design is mainly found in cars that cost almost double what this car costs, at a fraction of the price, this really does make it a steal, and it is no wonder that it is a popular one on the roads.
Welcome back to Ignition GT. Whether or not you regard it as a serious piece of off-road kit or a vastly cheaper Land Rover Defender clone, the Jetour T2 has piqued our interest since we first drove it in China in 2024. Has it lived up to expectations, and crucially, how does it perform under local driving conditions? Cheryl, what do you think? We know that people love it.
I really enjoyed driving it. I felt safe in it. I felt comfortable. I believe the road handling is really good, especially on our quirky potholed roads. My only issue was on the highway, the bit of wind noise that you get it at a higher speed. But generally, I love driving it.
Does it feel like a more expensive car?
Yes, it does. I do believe that.
Kumbi, I know off-road ability is not its strong suit, but maybe it doesn't have to be. When SUVs first came out, we used to call them 4x4s just because they looked like a 4x4.
Yeah.
Do you think this falls into that category with a little bit of 4x4 ability?
I mean, listen, I did Henops. I was lucky enough to spend 6 weeks with the car, and I took it to Henops off-road. And I mean, it's not necessarily an off-roader, but I mean, that four-wheel drive system that I'm not sure what they call it at Jetour, that performed really, really well. Yes, the gearbox did overheat after a while, but that was mostly because I did not switch on the cooling for the off-roading, which they actually do have in the menu, which I found quite cool. I mean, so it does really do well in terms of off-roading for something that actually shouldn't be. I don't think a lot of Jetour owners, T2 owners, are going to be, taking it to the hills or Sunny Pass, whatever it is, but it does capable. I mean, it's really comfortable. I did also pick up on the wind noise, especially on the longer open roads. I drove it to Cape Town, and there was a lot of wind noise, but it's very comfortable. I mean, for under 700,000 rands, Ernest, there is really
fully agree with you.
It's everything that anybody within that price point, and I mean, 2,000 a month, 2,000 units sold so far. That's
the waiting list.
The waiting list, exactly.
The waiting list don't lie. Eh? Yeah. We now turn our attention to a Japanese manufacturer, and one that also looks to make inroads in the new market segment. Suzuki recently unveiled a brand new Across, a vehicle that looks set to take the C SUV segment by storm thanks to its dashing good looks and efficient mild hybrid powertrain. Let's see if it can deliver the goods.
Today we're at the first media rotation launch of this Suzuki Across launch here in Cape Town. The Suzuki Across is our flagship model, sits alongside the Suzuki Grand Vitara in the range as a compact SUV. For us, it introduces new technology to the segment with the mild hybrid being available across all variants, starting with the GL all the way up to the GLX. It appeals to a very, let's say, young at heart buyer, the one that wants all the features in a vehicle where you have your digital screen, you have your 10-inch infotainment system, you've got your panoramic sunroof, you've got your level 2 ADAS or advanced driver support systems. So really loaded with the latest technology, but also for us a good opportunity to showcase what the Suzuki brand can do and what this model represents for us as a product in a very competitive SUV segment.
So design-wise, I think Suzuki have absolutely nailed the looks of this new Across, and I think it's been a while since we've seen a brand new model from Suzuki, so I'm really, really impressed with how it looks. So the interior has also been given something that we haven't seen before. We've got now a digital instrument cluster, which is quite cool. It's really, really good to operate and to use while driving.
Interior is very spacious. They got a 10.5-inch screen, and what I like about it, it's not everything on the screen. They've got keys and the piano keys as well, so you can control other things. You don't have to go to the menu and the sub-menu on a screen, which I must be honest, sometimes it takes your eyes off the road, which is not good. The car is very good aesthetically looking. It's a wonderful family SUV that I believe is going to be a very good seller in South Africa.
I think it's pretty sure-footed on the road. I'm really happy with the primary and secondary rides, especially on these twisty Cape Townian roads also, which everyone loves so much. I encourage you all do it. Even though this is a hybrid, there's a little bit more weight involved with the battery and all that. At 1.2 tons, it does hold itself very well on the roads.
My favorite design feature is the new ADAS or DSBS2, which is the dual sensor brake support with autonomous driving features. It's the first Suzuki to introduce this to the model range and really gives you a sense of control, but then also confidence in driving on the road in South African conditions.
All in all, you start off at 370 as an entry level, then you go to about 465, 900, right, for the GLX model.
From what we've seen from a spec value proposition and just the overall package, I think Suzuki have done a great job at putting together a great car with great features at a really attractive price point. It'll really be interesting to see how it does in the market because we know there's a lot of contenders.
And I think the Suzuki Across, for what it's offering and how it positions itself, how it drives, how it feels, this is indicative of that, in that we're moving forward. And also, as the tagline says, they're moving in between worlds. So stay tuned for that.
You're watching Ignition GT. Hello and welcome back. Prior to the launch of the third generation Duster in March 2025, there was a bit of a lull in Renault's model introductions in South Africa. But as it turns out, it was the calm before the storm, because what has followed has been an onslaught of new models which has seen the French brand grabbing headlines once again. Here to tell us more is Leanne Stanton, Senior Specialist, Public Relations and Marketing, and Tebogo Sekobe, General Manager for Product. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
start there, Leanne. This product offensive that you've been going on recently, tell us a bit more about that and how has that impacted the business and, of course, the market?
So I think let's rather talk about the devoid of product first, because that was 2 years where we were in the market, and obviously there's been tough competition in the market, and doing our level best, obviously, to meet all our sales objectives and keep the brand very, very visible. It was a tough task, I must say, but during that time we kind of focused a lot on the emerging brands, as in the lower segment of the market in terms of repositioning and making sure we were very active there. It also gave us opportunity to look at business efficiencies, operational side of things, and make sure that we were fully prepared for the onslaught of the product to come. It gave us opportunity as well to become more ensconced in our sporting partnerships, which are really great for visibility, and it enabled us to be relevant on the ground, which was really important at that time to keep the brand alive.
Tebogo, since October, the product offensive has been coming in thick and fast. Tell us about the model lineup and how that's affected perceptions out there in the market.
Yeah, no, it's been a busy Q4 for us as a brand. I think it was exciting that we could finally, take to market what we've been re-strategizing and busy with in the back end and the planning and everything. I think our big first launch was a Triber, one of our volume sellers, which also included the LCV part of that product with Triber Express. That was successfully launched, and we also launched the Kaga Naturally Aspirated in November, which was a great success. Both nameplates saw significant improvements, not just in terms of design language, but also in terms of some product enhancements in terms of safety and also convenience features. So that's also gaining some great momentum out in the market. And we wrapped up the year with Capture, which is an exciting brand builder for us. We brought some exciting new features in there, and also the addition of a new nameplate or trim. Let's call it the Esprit Alpine, in the beginning of the year, we also followed through with Cargo Turbo, which adds a nice touch in terms of offering a affordable but accessible, luxurious offering. So that's also, we've seen some excitement out in the market. Demand is quite high on that. So yeah, quite excited about that.
You also brought home some silverware at the Top Gear Awards, isn't it?
100%. So going back to what you said, we certainly had a flurry of launches. There were 4 launches in the matter of 5 months, and I think as a brand that's been really important for us, just to be topical, to remain relevant. We were very proud earlier this year for our newly launched Capture Esprit Alpine to be nominated as the crossover of the year, which is really great if you think about all the competition in the market. We were just discussing earlier, there are now over 50 vehicle brands out there. And the consumer is literally spoiled for choice with over 3,000 models to choose from. We were also nominated as a semi-finalist in the Car of the Year Awards for our ever popular Duster. So that was a great accolade to how relevant the Duster still is in the market. We unfortunately didn't make it through to the final stage. So it's very important for us to keep our brand out there, visible, relevant and active.
Even though Renault has established itself as a successful, well-loved brand in South Africa, there are still some misconceptions, preconceptions about French cars in South Africa. What has Renault done to address those concerns going into the future?
So unfortunately, we all know that perception sometimes becomes reality, but we have done a lot of work in the background. For example, we have invested quite heavily into our PDC center, our parts distribution center, ensuring parts availability, also communicating on the maintenance costs of vehicles. It's also been very important for us from a brand level to deliver on customer service and to exceed expectations. So we have worked very hard with our dealerships to make sure that we are delivering on what their expectations are and beyond that as well. I think it's a matter of also changing the conversation away from the whole idea of French importer, which comes with its own perceptions, and we're really steering the narrative more towards a global brand, and I think that has very positive connotations.
And lastly, what can we expect from Renault going forward into 2026? I got a sneak peek at the last launch. There was a whole list of cars on that calendar, but Tebogo, let's start with you. And then also, I have to ask, is the Renault 5 coming?
Okay. I think just for you, I'll see if I can organize a Renault 5.
Thank you.
On a more serious note, there's quite a lot that you can expect going forward. We've got product launches lined up until 2028. So effectively, every year we'll be launching a minimum of one vehicle per year. And our next launch is effectively in the month of May, which will be us reintroducing the traffic passenger after 20-year absence in that market. So we're quite excited about that. We basically wrapping up a few elements in the back end to prep for that launch. And then in the second half of this year, we're going to be introducing
a surprise vehicle.
Oh,
should I not let the cat out the bag?
No, you're going to let the surprise out the bag then. Come on now.
No, it's okay. So there's a SUV that's going to be launched, that we're going to be launching in the second half of this year.
You're clearly very excited about it.
Oh, yeah. No,
exceptionally. It's a big one for us.
It's going to be a big one for us. And then in early 2027, we're looking forward to introducing our first 7-seater SUV, the Boreal. So that's going to be an extension of the Duster. That's also going to be sourced out of India. That's going to be our flagship model. And then in 2028, we're looking to introduce the recently revealed Bridger concept as part of our lineup. Awesome. So we're quite excited about that. And then,
there's also a lot of exciting activity happening on the marketing front. I think also a big one for us coming up. We are sponsor again for the 4th year in a row of the Absa Wildeklawe sporting event, which is held in Kimberley. It is the most phenomenal event. It attracts about over 30,000 people.
Wow. Kimberley needs that activity there, doesn't
Kimberley 100% needs that activity, and it's great for us to have our brand there. There's obviously a lot of families that are there. It's a great audience for us. It's one of those experiences that you have to be there to see the full magnitude of it.
Well, thank you for letting some cats out of the bag. Pleasure for having you here. Thank you so much. And we'll chat soon. Ladies and gentlemen, look forward to more from Renault over the coming months and years, and a few surprises too. Be sure to join us again next week when Z gets behind the wheel of the sensational Alfa Romeo Stelvio Cube. Citroën brings coupe SUV ownership within easy reach with the Basalt. And Juliet spent some time with Chery's new flagship, the Tiggo 9.